Okay, we're at class number 3 of the daily online gym class. Today's workout is not weak in the knees. So we're going to focus on building some strength in the connective tissue around the knees and coordinating the body as a whole when we have to distribute force through the knees so that we minimize how much stress we put on the knees and avoid damaging them while we move. With the movements that we're going to do, make sure that you take it at your own pace. That's the case all the time. You don't want to try to replicate exactly what we're doing and force your way through movements that are uncomfortable for you if they're too challenging for you. Use some sense, use some common sense, and just push yourself, but don't overdo it.
We have a YouTube video that kind of explains the difference between discomfort and pain, so I'll just link it up here.
Okay, let's get on to the first circuit of 3 movements. We're going to start off with coordination called a sumo squat. So with this one, I'll just demonstrate it so you can see what it looks like first. Okay, so the idea is to bend forward, first at the hips, support yourself on your arms, strong arms, and from here you fold down into a squat. Try to keep your heels on the ground as long as you can. So you keep your heels on the ground as long as you can, and as your torso straightens up, they're going to have to come up at some point, but you still have the intent of the heels going towards the ground. So you're not up here like bouncing on your toes. Your heels are still directing themselves towards the ground, but you're sitting on your ankles. To reverse it, you just reverse the motion you did going down. So you shoot the hips up first, now you're in this position and you're here. The common mistake is people will start, as they start doing it, they're just gonna start going straight down into a squat like this, sending their knees forward. Don't do that. Keep the movement fluid but broken up into the different sections. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. If this is too challenging for you, you can support yourself by grabbing 2 chairs and putting them one on either side, so that instead of having to support your body weight on your own structure, you can hold on to the chairs. So you would bend forward, support yourself on the chairs. Now you can take as much of your body weight onto your arms as you need to ease yourself down, and then you can push on the chairs to reverse yourself back up. Okay?
So if this is a bit too wide for me, but down, use your assistance here. So they have to be a good width apart. Try and come upright as much as you can. And back.
Another common mistake is to have the feet too wide apart. It's going to be difficult to do if your feet are too wide apart. So keep them close together. The heels can be almost touching. And you let your feet kind of point out naturally, somewhere between 30 and 45 degrees or so. Okay, not too much, but you don't want them together or facing dead straight parallel on this one. You want them out so that your knees have somewhere to go as you go down. Okay, we'll do 10 reps together. Ready?
Two. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9, last one. 10. Okay, now we're going to keep the feet apart.
wider than shoulder width. Support your upper body on your arms, resting on your just above your knees. And you're going to make circles coming inward, rolling your knees out and then in. Do about 10 reps. And then reverse it. You're going in to out now. Nine, 10. Good. Shake the legs out. Now we're going to do that with the feet together. So if you joined us for our last boxing workout, we did this during the warm-up. We place the feet together and the knees together, touching if possible, and you're going to just take your knees in a circle.
10 times each direction.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Reverse it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. You can repeat that mini circuit another 1 to 2 times. If you're going to do that, just pause the video or replay it. Do it 1 or 2 more times, and then join us at the next sequence. Okay, next we'll do a unilateral strengthening exercise, sometimes referred to as a skater squat or even a shrimp squat. So start on your dominant leg. So if you're right-footed, start on your right leg. And basically what you're trying to do here is take your body down until the unsupported leg, you're trying to kiss the knee off the floor. Okay, so if I'm facing this way, you're going to squat down. You can put your arms out to counterbalance. Keeping the working leg, the whole surface of the foot should be flat on the floor, so don't let the heel come up. And you're going to squat down and try to tap your knee gently to the ground and stand back up. If that seems impossible and you're nowhere near the ground, just work to get as close to the ground as you can. You can also use something as an elevation that's just barely within reach, that you can tap and come back up. As you can do that, then you can make the elevation slightly lower. So for example, you can stack some books or some CD cases or yoga block, something like that, where
The rolled up towel if you need.
yeah, just be creative. Anything where it's just within reach, you can tap and stand back up. You can even use, if you have a pet who's helpful, as Toki is, you can use your pet. And you squat down, tap, and stand back up. Thank you. So let's do 5 reps per leg, and we'll do 2 to 3 sets. Okay? So starting on the dominant leg, as you squat down, try not to be rigid. Compress everything together so you're shrinking, you're stable, touch, and up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Switch legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We rest, and we'll repeat it. In the meantime, while you're recovering, I'll give you a couple of tips. Again, it's very important that you keep the foot that's working flat on the ground. Don't let the heel lift up. You want to have about 60% of your weight towards the back of your foot, the heel, and the other 40% towards the front of your foot. don't let the foot collapse in as you go down. So if you're squatting down and your knee is collapsing inward like this, that's no good. You want your knee to track over the toes. It's okay if your knee goes forward over the toes as long as your heel stays down. It doesn't matter. You don't have to try to keep your knee behind the toe line, but you want it to track over the toe line. Okay?
When we're doing strength stuff like this, we usually rest, between 1 and 3 minutes, depending on how fatigued you are. You can rest a bit longer in between strength sets, whereas if you're doing something like a coordination or like a cardio type thing, you can typically rest just a bit less.
Yeah, if this is considered intense strength work for you, rest longer in between sets, but it's relative. So this is relatively easy for me to do, so I would maybe, if I was doing 5 sets of this, I might just go right, left, right, left, right, left with little or no rest in between. Intensity is relative, so if this is difficult for you to get 5 reps, then rest a little bit longer, let yourself recover in between sets. Okay, let's go on to the next one. The next set, so back to the dominant leg for 5 reps. 1, 2.
Make sure you come up all the way up.
3.
You don't have to straighten the leg, but just make sure you're up all the way.
5. Switch sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. So that's 2 sets. You can do another set if you feel like it, and take it all the way up to 5 sets if you want. I wouldn't go more than that. And when you're ready to rejoin, come back to the next series. Okay, the next little circuit consists of another 3 exercises. This really focuses on strengthening the whole surrounding knee structure. When you're doing these, you still want to make sure that even though there's a lot of focus around the knee joint, you want to make sure you're using the whole body as one piece, okay? So don't forget about the rest of the body and put all the stress just on the knees. Use the strength of the whole body. The first one is a twisting squat. So put your feet somewhere around just under the hips, and you're gonna squat and twist, keeping the feet glued. You wanna imagine that your feet are crazy glued to the floor. So don't let the feet twist as you twist. As you squat, you want to imagine that there's a bench perpendicular to your hips. And as you squat, you want to twist and try to sit on that bench. That's the intent. So you keep the feet glued and you twist and squat as much as you can. You should feel a rotational torque, like force, in the knee joint, okay? And through the ankle joint. So you twist, you come back to the center, and then you try to squat to a bench on the other side. Keep the feet glued forward, twist, and squat. And you're purposely trying to torque the knee, get a rotational force on the knee as much as you can stand until you feel a mild strain. Definitely no pain. You're not trying to force through any pain, but you want to feel a little bit of strain to get all the connective tissue around the knee to adapt and get stronger. So we'll do 5 per side. Okay? One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, shake the legs out a little bit. Next one is an outside squat. So you're going to start sitting on the floor. There's a few ways to regress this if it's very challenging for you. And I'll just talk through it and then you can figure out the best way to do it. what we're trying to do here is stand up from a cross-leg position, okay? So the pressure is going to be on the outside knife edge of the foot, okay? So you're on the outsides of the feet as you stand up. So you want to get your body weight over your feet. Don't try to stand up from back here, it's going to be virtually impossible. You get your weight over the feet, you're on the outside edge of the feet, and you stand up. You should feel pressure on the outside of the knees as you stand up, and you take it back down under control to the ground. That is going to feel impossible for some people. Others it will feel okay if you're used to sitting on the ground and you have stronger knees. If it feels impossible, then use a support. Again, you can use chairs. You can use a stick.
Something to hold on to?
Right, so you find something like, most people have like a door frame or something like this, so you can sit up against the door frame, grab both sides of it, and this way you can use your hands to help pull you up and help lower yourself down. That way you can control how much pressure you put on the knees, okay? You can also hold a stick like a broomstick. So if you were down on the ground like this, you would hold a broomstick like this to press into the ground as you stand up. For support, you can use chairs, like how we did for the sumo squat at the beginning, or support right here. You can use just the ground. Maybe all you need is a little bit of support from your hands, and you can get that initial press from the ground, and then make it the rest of the way up, and come back down the same way. And you want to work towards, of course, being able to do it from the ground without your hands. So we're going to do 5 reps per side, and then move on to the next exercise. Okay, so you're sitting cross-legged, you're on the outside knife edge of the feet, you're nice and small, your weight is over your feet, and then you stand up and lower. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch. So if you started with your right foot in front, now your left foot, you want to make sure you get both sides. The stimulus is slightly different. One knee takes a little bit more pressure each time. So you switch sides, and same thing. Get your weight over your feet, you're on the outsides of the feet, and stand up. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, like I said, make sure you do that under control. Do not, I can't stress it enough, do not force through pain or rush through that movement. Any movement can be used as a medicine or it can be used as a poison. It's just a matter of dosage. So there's no such thing as saying, oh, this is good for your knees or that's bad for your knees. It depends on the individual, it depends on what you can tolerate. If it's applied in an appropriate and safe manner, using a safe progression, then it's going to strengthen you. If it's too much all at once for your capacity, it's going to destroy you. So be smart, start conservatively and use a support, and only gradually work your way to the full movement. Last one in this particular series is an inside squat. So we just put some pressure to the outside tissue around the knees. Now we're going to focus on the inside. So you stand a little wider than shoulder width, and this is like, we can call this a goalie squat or an inside squat. You're putting the pressure now on the insides of the ankles and the insides of the knees. So it's almost like you're trying to demonstrate the worst looking squat possible. You're coming in like this and up, okay? There's gonna be people out there in the world of physical therapy and other types of physical professionals saying that this is an unsafe exercise to do, but we say that not doing this is unsafe. If you're doing it properly, using the whole body, and you're training it in a gradual manner, then it's strengthening the knees. Your knees are going to go into this position in life sometime, whether you try to avoid it or not. It's going to happen, and that's when you're going to get injury. You get injured in the position that you didn't prepare for and didn't train for. So we think it's wise to train everything intelligently and take a gradual approach so that you're not overdoing it. We'll do 5 reps, slow and under control, going as low as you can. As you squat, again, use the whole body. It's like the whole body is folding in and then coming back out. Okay, we'll do 5 reps together. In 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so you can repeat that series, I would say no more than 3 times. Err on the side of caution and maybe do it once or twice. We'll repeat that series once more with you. So we'll start off with the twisting squats. Feet under the hips, hands on the hips, keep the feet glued to the ground. Squat and twist. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5. Feel the rotation through the knees. 5. Okay, outside squats, sitting on the ground, cross legs. Stay nice and small and compact. The bigger you are, the harder it is and the more stress you're going to put on your joints. You want to be compact and strong. Okay, together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You should be totally under control. Don't just fall down for the last part. If that's what you're doing, maybe place a cushion underneath you so that you don't drop that last little bit and gradually reduce the elevation. Or like we said, use a support so that you can control how much pressure you put by using your arms. Okay, switching sides now, 5 reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and go down slow, 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 5. Okay, standing up, we do our inside squats. Together, collapse in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold this one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And up. Good. Shake the legs out.